Oi oi mush. Right, here we go, Silent Hill F. I've just spent 80 quid on this game. Phew. Can you believe that? But we get to play it early, so that's what we're about. I would have actually played this yesterday, because you could play this yesterday, but I had to work, so getting it today instead. But I'm on the 9070 XT. Hopefully, it should run pretty good. We'll obviously find out. Do make sure to drop a like on the stream. Try and get as many as we can. Maybe this game does support FSR 4, which is good. So maybe just show you that quickly first here. It's actually enabled by default in Adrenaline now, so you can see FSR 4. So I haven't got FSR active in the game obviously yet, but once we do activate that, I'll be using 4, which is good. I wonder actually if we'll see... Might see it in the actual game. I've not seen the settings or anything yet. 60 hertz. Why am I at 60 hertz? How do I change that? Why is it giving me 60 hertz? I'm on 144. Anyway, I'm at 4K at first. We'll do 4K. Screen percentage 100%. We've got some Lumen Epic settings here. So you can actually fully switch that off, which is good. This is obviously Unreal Engine 5. Looks like we have the ability to switch that off, which is actually pretty good. Not seen that in too many games. We'll leave everything fully max to see what the absolute worst it can be is. So those go to Epic, Lumen Epic. These go to very high by the looks of it. I'll leave it on TSR for now, but we will obviously check out FSR as well. See what kind of settings we got. Doesn't look like we have a native in there. What does it mean by anti-aliasing quality? Oh no, actually native will be here, won't it? Those settings seem... That seems weird. If I'm at FSR quality though, but do we have to change the render? Do we have to change this? I'll have to test that. Honestly not sure on that one. Lander, yo! $50.60 or $90.60. What's the price difference? For you, it was playing over 60 FPS, even though it did show on the resolution that it was 60. Just relax, dude, yo. Yeah, I'm a little bit... I don't quite understand these settings. And I don't understand why I'm at 60 hertz either. Kind of weird. And also, the escape button doesn't work on the keyboard. So a couple of weird things going on there. You can't get native. Can you actually not? Why do games mess around with this stuff? How do I override that? Now it's saying FSR's on, but it's not. Or is it on? It is on. How do I override that in Adrenaline? Honestly don't know. Why is it not working? Yeah, FSR's not active in the game. I don't know how I override such a thing. Scaling? I'd have thought maybe it'd be under super resolution if I... that doesn't override the game level though, does it? FSR quality equals screen resolution 100%. Well, no, FSR quality would equal 60%, 67% in my view. You can't get to that. This is giving me Wu Chang Fallen Feathers vibes. I just changed it to TSR. Yes, yeah, no, I know. In theory, you'd go quality here, and you would switch this to 67%. That would be FSR quality. In theory, we'll have to have a look. Change to TSR. Yes, yeah, no, I changed it back to TSR because I don't want FSR on at first. Puzzles. We got a rabbit. Or a bunny.
私は一人でも全然寂しくないの。仲間外れなんか気にしないもん。ひなこ?
5060 Ti. I guess it depends if you want. Are you interested in multi-frame generation and stuff?
男の子と遊ぶ子はおままごとに入れてあげないだって。じゃあお姉ちゃんと一緒におままごとしよっか。本当? お待たせ。
Override drivers to support DLAA. Yeah, but is that being overridden in NVIDIA overlay, or is it being modded with like NVIDIA profile inspector maybe?
お姉ちゃんって小さい頃からずっとお姉ちゃんだったんだなって。
Play around with it. I can get Upscaling in as well to see what it's rendering. In my opinion, it's decoupled from the screen percentage, right? So, in theory, if you went on to, say, what we're on now, TSR quality, would in theory be 67%, but it's at 100%. It almost does remind me exactly of Wu Chang, because it was exactly like that also. You could change that scale, but it didn't change the, like, render resolution, which is worrying. I don't like it when games do stuff. It could be a bug, though. This is technically comes out tomorrow, so it might maybe be a driver game update. In NVIDIA, like where you, oh yeah, you can override it. I know, yeah, I know what you're talking about. You can select DLAA. I'll have to try it out tomorrow on the 5090 and have a look. We'll get a rough idea, because I roughly know what performance is like in Unreal Engine 5. Different settings. You can probably make a rough guess as to what's happening. Looks pretty good though in this cutscene. You were getting 117 with FSR. Yeah, I've got a feeling though, it's reminding me of Wu Chang, where I think FSR, it might look like you're native, but I feel like you're probably not. Do you know what I mean? So you'll be getting way higher performance than you think you are. Well, not that you think you are, but you think you're a native when you're actually at like FSR quality or something. Does that make sense? You can't go over 30 on AMD. You might have the frame rate limit on. Cutscenes are capped at 30, obviously. So we still have to get into the actual gameplay.
どうしてあの態度になるんだ。これも全部お前がひな子をずっと甘やかしてきたからだろう。
ひな子、お父さんはね、あなたのためを思って友達のとこ行ってくる。早めに帰ってきてね。あってたまるか。
Here we go, though. And this, to me, looking at this straight away, this does look native. This does look 4K native to me, in terms of our performance here. That looks about right. So I'm getting about 30, what was it, average of 35? Looks, obviously straight away, looks pretty heavy. Graphics look pretty good, I think. Our VRAM, though, is about 14.5, so that's really high, almost at the max. A little bit more, but... in terms of frame time, looks like a little bit... I mean, frame time here looks like a little bit choppy as I move around quite a bit, although you're seeing it. Quite choppy there. I tell you what I need to do. I'm going to increase the fans on my GPU a bit, and I also need to change the sensitivity a bit. It feels... I'm using mouse and keyboard because I played Silent Hill 2, the remake, with mouse and keyboard. It just felt right, but sensitivity, increase that up. There's something... oh my god, there's terrible ghosting. Look at her face. You see that? Had this issue on the, like I say, the Silent Hill remake, the ghosting on that with the fog was really bad as well. Any issues with Adrenaline? Well, the program itself. I do have occasional issues where it just doesn't open. You just have to persevere with it a bit sometimes, though. You just have to keep trying or going into Task Manager and fully like ending the process and then try again. That happens to me sometimes. So what are we thinking so far? Obviously, it's low FPS, but I haven't had any huge stutters or anything. The 0.1% low of 27 from our average isn't that bad. It generally feels okay. Possibly I'll get some dips into the 20s. I'm hitting, there we go, 29. Oof. Getting about 30 FPS there. But in terms of the graphics, obviously running out of 4K, that's not that crazy. What's that behind the overlay? I can't see. Change costume. Record. Or was that just a save? It really bugs me that you can't escape. You have to press C. Set FSR to quality, you should more than double performance. It'll probably give it 20 to 30, yeah. Got a feeling, though, I'd like to get Upscaler in here because I've got a feeling this is similar to Wu Chang in that I'm not quite sure what's going on in the background. Those game settings to me feel off. I don't like the idea you can't see like FSR native and stuff. Even when you go FSR quality, it makes me nervous as to what you're actually rendering in. Looks pretty good, though. Fairly stable. Definitely, considering some of the games we've had recently, performance-wise, especially in this engine, have all been a little bit rough, haven't they? Bit of a stutter there. Look at that frame time there. So it's doing that occasionally. Not quite sure. Have I just got to keep looking around? Do you need a mode for native res? I'm not sure I understand what you mean. I'm not sure I understand what you mean by a mode. At the moment, I feel like it is rendering at native because we are at 100% screen percentage here. The only thing that makes me concerned is this here. We can test it out though. I would quickly just like to see if we drop lumen down. What are the settings here? If we fully switch that off and maybe just go screen space reflections. See how much performance difference there is. Wow, that looks quite different though, doesn't it, game-wise? Holy. Takes us up to 50 there. Still some dips down to 40, but it does drastically change. Maybe go low instead of just switching it fully off. That does look quite different, doesn't it? Wonder how clear a difference is that on the stream. That must be fairly noticeable, right? That looked like a big difference. Yeah, look at the difference. That's quite a large difference with that off, isn't it? If I just go down to, is high the lowest? I think that is. How different does that look? How different? So that still gives you a little bit of an increase in FPS. Doesn't look so, not so dramatic difference in the game. So it's still not going to give you the 60, but it's not too bad. Not really entirely sure where I'm supposed to be going there, just wandering around. For some reason, the sensitivity for me, it's still not right. I've got some sort of acceleration on. Why does it feel weird? There's only one setting. This is native, yeah. Remember the game audio is like as well. Is it too loud or too quiet? It's TSR native res. I'll tell you what I can do. You know, I'll try and get let me see if I can quickly get Upscaling into the game, and we can check in there what it's rendering at, because I think that would actually be quite valuable to know, wouldn't it? So give me 2 seconds. Try and find the path it needs to go into. What would it be? Engine binaries. Would it be that? I think I found it. Replace file. Oh, I need to quit out the game. It's not letting me do it. That was stupid of me. Give me 1 minute. Whilst we're waiting, do make sure to drop a like on the stream. So if I run Upscaler here, oh, I can't actually even see it now. What is it? 1. Will I try and use the LSS inputs? No. So I'm not really too interested in using Upscaler for the actual upscaling. I just want to see what the rendering of it is, although I won't be able to see that in native, will I? It'll still be a good test because it'll let us know if that screen percentage is actually doing anything. So for example, in theory, FSR on, what does FSR quality on but with 100% screen percentage, what does that mean? Because in my mind, that doesn't make sense. If FSR quality is on, that should be 67%. You couldn't have FSR quality with 100% resolution scale. That doesn't make sense. Yeah, Carlos, it's a bit weird. I'm not entirely sure on it either. That's why I'm going to try and test this here. So Upscaler works. So we'll see if we can try and test it out. So in theory, I'm at native 4K here, which I feel like is fairly accurate just off the basis of the performance to me. It looks about right. Like what I would expect seeing other games with similar settings in the same engine. If anything, it's actually probably a bit better than what we'd seen previous. Because you're getting somewhere between mostly like 30, 35 we saw earlier, really, didn't we? But if the test will be, so you won't, I can't see any scaling here, which is a bit annoying. It doesn't actually show you until you actually use it, but in the bottom left here, you can normally see what it's actually rendering at. So this will be the test here. If we go, in theory, so the thing that confuses me the most is I could go FSR quality here, right? Which straight away to me, that's taking it to 60. So that makes me feel like it is using probably 67%. The thing that throws me is the screen percentage is still 100%, which doesn't make sense. That's what doesn't make sense to me. You can't have that. You can't have FSR quality at 100% resolution scale. That doesn't make sense. Screen percentage 100% means 100% of resolution is native. Yeah, that's what I thought, but this kind of proves different otherwise. How could you be with FSR quality and 100% resolution scale? That should be 67%, because you can see here, that's taken my FPS up to 70. So FSR quality will be rendering at 67% here. And it is. We're rendering at 2561 by 1441 here. So this is 67% resolution scale, but the games still show 100%. So that looks broken to me, in my opinion. This isn't actually doing anything apart from probably when you're at native. So you don't seem to be able to get FSR native AA. Unless you can... Anyone know if you can override that from Adrenaline? Because I honestly don't know. I'd have thought maybe you can do it for Adrenaline, but I don't know off the top of my head. So yeah, at least that at least explains it to us, so we know, even though if you've got FSR on and it's set to quality, that is at 67%, it's not 100. Screen percentage will be meaning 4K is 100%. Yes, exactly. But the issue, the only thing I've got is, in my mind, in my mind, this probably maybe is bugged in which when you drop this down to quality, this really should come down to 67%, really, to like reflect that you are indeed using that, if that makes sense. No, it can do both. You can't do FSR quality and 100% resolution scale. This doesn't make sense. It's not possible. Because FSR quality is rendering at 67%. You can't be rendering at 67% and 100%. That doesn't make sense. So in my opinion, this just isn't reflecting what we're actually doing here. Because with FSR quality here, look, from, what did we have, 30, 35, and it has pretty much doubled the FPS. It is dipping it down a bit there, 59. Oh, it's come down 55 there. It does come down quite a bit. This is FSR 4 though, so it does look very good. Pretty much the same as native, really. And it should hopefully give us around about 60 average, at the moment 61. Has brought my VRAM down a little bit as well, 13. But this game overall does seem quite VRAM heavy. Still just about got enough on this GPU, obviously. Even at the kind of worst scenario of maxed out 4K native. Anti-aliasing and screen render is different. Yeah, I'm not sure. Yeah, I'm not sure what you mean though. What do you mean by anti-aliasing? In the game, that's what the setting's called, but it's upscaling. We've got FSR with anti-aliasing set to quality. That's FSR quality. We can see by its rendering here at 67%, so we know it's using FSR quality. So in this game, it is the same thing. Percentage setting is what it scales to. Yeah, that would be my guess, but it's just not normally reflected like that in games. Normally, it would you know, in a lot of games you'd see that setting grey out, and you wouldn't be able to edit it, and then it would scale to what you're rendering at. If you see what I mean, there'd be some reflection of what you're actually rendering at. But yeah, because it's of no value to me to know that I am rendering at, I'm outputting at 4K. I know I am. If you know what I mean, because I'm using FSR quality. That's just how it works. Because the only thing is you can then obviously change that too, which you don't really see a lot either. Like, why would I want to... It just seems odd and unusual that I'd be using FSR quality and then rendering the output at 75%. Like, what would be the use of that? I feel like you just don't really see that much, or am I going crazy? I feel like you just don't really see that much in games, the ability to be able to do that. Lowering the screen percentage. No, I understand. It's just I feel like you don't really see that much in games. But I'd be better off... Would I not be better off just going... Instead of dropping that to 75%, I'd be better off just dropping that to balanced, wouldn't I? If you know what I mean. Like, why would you do both of those things? You'd be better off just probably going FSR balanced instead. If you see what I mean. But yeah, no, I do get it. I just thought it's unusual. I don't know, I don't feel like that's a thing in a lot of games, is it? Unless I'm just going crazy and I don't really pay too much attention. I feel like you just never really... Normally those things are bound together, where you move one and it automatically moves the other. Maybe I'm just going crazy. Weird though that we can't do an FSR native AA though. I find that odd. Like, we can't do that. I don't know, unless you have to override it. That seems odd. That's what it's sort of throwing me off. There is no option to be able to do that, which just seems odd. We can't go native at all. So FSR has to be using upscaling. There's no way away from that. Unless you override it in some other way. Sorry, I keep pausing it a lot. I'll try and play for a little bit. 75% and see what it says in... It still says the same thing. We're still rendering at 2561 by 1441 because that's only changing this, like, the output, isn't it? This is more of the upscaling, and we've still got FSR quality on, so it's 67%. Still 2561, 1441 to 3840 by 2160, which is obviously 4K. I'll switch that back because I don't really have any need to drop that from 100%. 4060 Super with more VRAM. How much VRAM? I don't know if there's rumoured. I know the 5080 Super with more VRAM, and I think, is it 5070 Ti Super as well? It is the same with DLSS. 100% is quality DLSS. You mean 100% screen percentage, or do you mean 100% render, like upscaling render? I assume you mean the screen percentage. Thing is, we kind of saw some weird funkiness, obviously, in Unreal Engine 5 games like that. Like I was saying with that Wu Chang, that was all a bit funky with the way the upscaling worked. You could do... Oh no, you couldn't do native in that either, could you? You couldn't do like native AA. And then they started messing with all the render scales. At least we know, I mean, roughly got there. I think it just looks a little different. Let's throw him a bit.
Yo.
I don't know why they can't just make it like a basic thing where it's just all very similar, but I guess obviously different games. 100% is quality DLSS. I'm not sure I understand what you mean though. Because you can't use FSR with 100% here. It has to be with quality. You can't do FSR native at 100%. It is FSR 4, yeah. Officially supported, which is good. How's the game so far? It seems alright. I've not really played, like, we haven't got that far, I don't think.
ひなこもいたんだ。リンコ。何の話をしてたの？いや、大した話は。
That's DLAA. No, I mean DLAA I would get. I haven't seen it on the NVIDIA GPU, so I can't really say. But you could probably override it from NVIDIA app. I'm talking more about. I can't pause it. I'm talking more about there is no in-game FSR native AA. There is that's not a thing. If you have FSR on, it's using quality. That's the highest percentage of it, if that makes sense. If you go TSR, it appears you're at native. Harder to test though, because I can't see what the render is, but from performance, if we guess the performance, it looks native with TSR. TSR quality looks native because we get about 30 FPS. Oh, this ain't looking good. Can't do DLSS native. Yeah, I'll switch to the 5090 and have a look tomorrow. And we can see. That's not good. Oh my god. I'm running. Reminds me of, what's that game where you got to run from the rats? In a scene like this, what was that game? I can't move. What the hell? I couldn't move. Little bit jarring where I can't move. What it keeps happening? That's weird. Am I dead? Yeah, bit jarring where we're going from like 80, 90 FPS and it cutscenes to 30. I hate that. It makes it so like janky going between. Overall though, pretty good. Should maybe check out balanced as well. So switch that down to FSR balance, which then in theory it's brought that down more. So 2259 by 1271 now, upscaled to 4K. It is a Plague's Tale. That was the game. Yeah, that's the game that I'm thinking of. Breaking 100 FPS there as well. I'll have to, when I get to the next save point, we'll check out 1440p as well. Should hopefully at native run actually pretty good at 1440p, I think. I actually quite like these games, that Plague Tale. And the second one as well is pretty good. What are you thinking out of 10 so far? I quite like the Silent Hill remake when I played that. I quite liked it. Seems like a similar atmosphere. Like there, look, when it goes down to 30, it's so, like, janky. Dispatcher Gaming, yo. Definitely does suffer a little bit with the ghosting though, which is the same thing we saw in the remake. I think it's probably worse in the remake. Definitely with the fog, but oh god, I haven't got my I haven't got my hand on the mouse. Can I hit it? No? Oh, big stutters there. Does this game have a lot of fog? I mean, it has a fair bit, you can see. I'd say it probably doesn't seem as much as the remake. Just off a quick look, especially in the opening area of the remake. When you're in that street, it was like very foggy, wasn't it? It's not like that. That had really, really bad ghosting, that bit. Should we maybe check performance as well, just to see how... I think balance here still looks very good in my opinion. Doesn't look too different from quality really. Performance there, if you just double check here. So yeah, now it's rendering at 1080p upscale to 4K. You can remove the fog. Yeah, I saw that, but that's kind of a part of the game, though, isn't it? It gives it this... That kind of completely changes the game without it. That bit at the beginning was scary, where stuff's just running in and out of the fog, and you don't really know what's going on. But if you remove the fog, you can just see everything. We've got a key. Can you go out there? No. I'm using XSS. No, I don't. I don't think the game has it, does it? No, the game doesn't have it. At least I don't have an option for it. Hell no, bro. Anything in here? I can't see what's going on. What the hell? I'm outside. Oh no. I can't get to it. Oh my god, my health. Now what? Oh my god. I dodged and somehow went through the wall, I think. I think performance, that's giving us pretty solid between average 115 there. And honestly, it still looks quite good. I am noticing some flickering here. You can probably see that. I think maybe it's it's with the fog. It looks a bit flickery, doesn't it? And I think there's quite a bit of ghosting around her hair as well. Doesn't look too bad here. Might be more with the smoke in the background. Probably don't want to keep going into corners, really, do I? An Upscaler. What, XSS? The thing is, I've got FSR4 though. We've got FSR4 officially supported in the game, so I don't really need to use anything else. How do I get past this? Where do I go? It's definitely not this way. Still do get a bit of a stutter there when I sort of move around quite quick. Oh, here we go, here we go. So if I... What have we got? I can't actually see because it's behind the overlay. Any other settings we want to see whilst I'm still at 4K before I switch to 1440p? There's not really too much to not really too many different variations of settings really. We obviously tried without lumen stuff, which is good that you can actually switch that off. It sort of gave us what, an extra 10-15. It wasn't massive performance difference. It did make the game look quite different. So I'd maybe go and switch lumen to what was the lowest? It was high, wasn't it? That does give you a bit of an FPS boost, but also still looks pretty good. It looked a bit bare lighting wise when you switch that, if you switch that off. What's the balance like on FSR4? Yeah. Even performance, to be honest. In terms of texture quality and stuff, I think even performance looks very similar to the other presets. The only thing is this ship like flickering you can see with the fog becomes quite noticeable at performance. I can switch it back to balanced. Definitely doesn't seem as bad. It's almost like, because the fog is moving at performance for some reason, it doesn't seem to be able to kind of almost predict, I think, what's happening. And that's what causes it to make it look like it's flickering. From what you read, the resolution scale of this slide does nothing. No, so I think we've established that basically the slider is actually separate from FSR. It has nothing to do with FSR. Basically, if you're... See, that also kind of threw me off a bit, but basically, if you're... So here, we're at FSR balanced, right? So you can see on my Upscaler that we're rendering it at balanced here. 2259 by 1271. This actually has absolutely no effect on that because 100% scale would obviously be 4K, which is what I'm at. This is more referring to like the output. So for example, 100% here, I've got FSR on, it's rendering it balanced, but I'm outputting at 100%, you know? Afterwards, it's like decoupled, which, yeah, I also agree is kind of... I feel like you just don't really see that much in games. I could be wrong. I maybe don't really pay so much attention to it. Like, normally this is coupled together. So, for example, what I was expecting is you go down to, say, quality here. I would expect this to go 67%, if you see what I mean. Like, automatically, but it doesn't. So, it's like it's decoupled. So, I'm still, for example, here, I'll be rendering at 67% still, because obviously I'm at FSR quality, but then the output here. So, I could drop this to 50%, and that would also obviously increase my performance more as well. But it's going to start to drop the quality because my output is no longer 4K either, if you see what I mean. There's no reason to really do it on a PC, I don't think. It's probably more a... Sorry, I'm trying to figure this out here. What the hell? It's probably more a handheld thing, I would guess, that maybe would be useful to be able to do something like that. But as I was saying earlier, there's not really much point in dropping this and using FSR. You might as well just drop this down more, you know? Like, what would be the point in using FSR quality and, say, 75% here? You might as well go 100% here and then go balanced, because that's going to give you much better quality. There'd be absolutely no reason to really do that. But it would possibly be more useful on stuff like handhelds and stuff, where, like, you're really trying to get as much performance as humanly possible. Like, potentially I could see that, like, being a thing. Why am I using Upscaling? I'm not. I'm purely doing it so I can see the render here. That's all. I haven't applied anything. Nothing's applied here or anything. I'd have to actually apply this here. I'm purely only doing it so I can see what it's rendering at, because there were some concerns over the render resolution. But we could also apply FSR. You can apply FSR 4 through here anyway, can't you? If I applied that here, I'll be using 4 here. Which is probably a bad idea to do that, because how do you... Oh, you can just... Can you revert it? How do I switch that off? Oh, actually, you can override here. Wait, I want to check that out. I think you might be able to use that to override FSR native AA, maybe? Try and figure that out. These enemies are creeping me the hell out. What's happened? I'm out of stamina. I'm stuck. You have XCSS and Upscaler. Yeah, but you have to actually apply it though. I didn't have anything applied. I can just get rid of Upscaler and we can try it again. I just wanted to confirm what was happening. It's useful to confirm after, especially when we played that Wu Chang game, there was no way to confirm what it was actually rendering at. I wanted just to see if we can try and override native here. So FSR, set that to quality. I don't know how you do any of this though. Quality override, how does this work? Like, what does this mean, DLAA? I have absolutely no idea how that works. Output scaling is disabled. Wait, if I go... I could go 1 here, apply that, right? Will that be overriding it? Something happened, but I don't think it's not done anything performance-wise. Yeah, honestly, I'm not entirely sure how to work this. Let's override each preset's ratio individually. No, 1.5x on 1080p screens means internal res of 720. Oh, quality to 1, so we're rendering it like 1 to 1. And then how do I apply that though? Let me get this off. We don't want that. How do I apply that or whatever? Change setting to apply. Yeah, but that's not done anything. Because I'm expecting my FPS to be... Like, I'm still rendering down here. I'm still rendering at 1440p. I want to override quality so it's native, if that makes sense. Change in-game FSR, you can't. Would I? I'm not, yeah. I'll try and investigate, because I honestly don't know how that works. Balanced and back to quality. Oh, that has worked. Okay, thanks. Hey, okay, that has worked. Thanks. Yeah, that's rendering. This is going to be FSR native AA at this point. 340 by 2160. Rendering and then outputting it 4K 340 by 2160. That looks like it. Yeah. Okay, that's good. But it's just such a pain that you have to do it through those means. Do you know what I mean? Why can't I just have that in as a game setting? We actually get slightly better FPS here, I think, compared to the beginning area. Turn on ration override. No, I think it's working okay. It seems to be working okay like this. Activate ratio override. It seems to be okay though. It seems to be alright. I'm rendering at 4K here, outputting at 4K. It seems to be okay. Got 63 FPS. Yeah, I mean, we're kind of in that range. I'm averaging 60 here. It seems to vary a little bit depending on where you are. Like we had 70 in that other bit there. Upscaling is a godsend. It is very good. The only thing is sometimes it's not... It doesn't work perfectly. Like, I had some games where it was just flashing black screen and stuff. But overall, it's like super useful. Just on the odd occasion for me, I've had it in games where it doesn't really work very well, but kind of expect that a little bit with a mod. It's not going to be perfect like all the time. But for stuff like this, when you can't even do the setting in the game, it's great for that. Which, like, we should be able to just do that in the game. I don't understand why we can't do that. I'm actually quite bad in the combat on this. I don't know when they're going to attack, do you know what I mean? It's kind of terrifying. No, I dodged. Nice. Earth, Wind and Fire. Do you remember? Absolute banger. Isn't there FSR4 in the game? There is, yeah, but you can't... I was using that, but you can't use FSR native AA. The only way to do it is modding it. You can't do it through in the game, so... I'm not sure if you might be able to do it in Adrenaline, but I honestly don't know how. I'd have to have a look. I know you can do it with the NVIDIA app. You can override the LAA. I'm not entirely sure how you do it on Adrenaline, or whether if you can do it or not. So I've done it through Upscaling instead. Oh, what we got here? So do you still get some bits where it dips down? But it might be worth saving it here and dropping down to 1440p. Probably a good time to switch it. And we can have a look at that. I might... Although we do have the override in Adrenaline, I might just keep Upscaler and use it through that. Purely because I can override FSR4 here. And I can also override the like native AA. I feel like that's more useful if we can do that. So I might keep it, use it. I might use it through that. So if you just give me 2 minutes, I'm just going to quickly restart the game and get it to 1440p. If you haven't already, do make sure to drop a like. I'll try and I'll switch and maybe check out on the 5090 tomorrow and see how it does on that as well. Should hopefully the game. Well, considering what we're seeing here, I'm expecting pretty high FPS, I think, on the 5090. But we'll see. Overall, pretty good, I think. Performance-wise, seems pretty good. Like I said, compared to some of the games we've had recently, million times better than that performance-wise. Keep, well, keep Upscaler, yeah. I think at this point it gives us a better range of things we can test at least. Koi's with a vomit face. Wait, who said that? Get him out. Too bad Arsenal are rubbish. Can't even beat Man City. I mean, Tottenham absolutely ruined Man City. Arsenal can't even do anything against City. They look like they didn't want to win it. I was fully expecting Arsenal to just absolutely destroy Man City, but it looked like they didn't even want to win it. I don't know what was going on. Okay, so I'm at 1440p here. What I might do first is just check TSR, just because that's what we did do at 4K, just to give it a rough comparison. Got everything maxed out, so Lumen set to epic. All the other settings maxed out as well. Motion blur off. I do like the fact you can switch off Lumen. That's definitely a positive, but this whole weirdness with not being able to do native and stuff, FSR native, kind of is more annoying. So let's see if we can try and override the TSR quality there. Look at that. So yeah, I'm not convinced by this. Look. What have I done? I can override. This should, in theory... Wait, how did we do this? Set this down to 1, right? See, I'm not convinced by this even TSR here. Will that work in the same way? I'm not sure it will. We might just have to go... That seemed to work for me at 4K though. We don't have to forget about TSR and just do FSR instead. I think I actually have to apply it here, don't I? For this to work. Is that it? Yeah, that looks like about it there. 2560 by 1440 I'm rendering at, which is 1440p, so looks to be about right. I think we'll have to just go with this. Oh, I thought the game had crashed then. Arsenal getting so lucky late. Yeah, that was a lucky goal, but to be fair, 1-1 I thought was a pretty fair result, considering Man City just parked the bus for like this whole second half. What 5090 do I have? I have a Founders Edition. It does have FSR 4 natively, yeah. Kind of some weird imagery going on here. When it was moving then, that looked weird. FPS. I know, it's so jarring when it cuts from 100 to 30. It's so jarring. It was like that on was it Mafia? Mafia Old Country was like that. You'd go from like 100 FPS to 30 on the cutscene, and it's so janky. What brand 1590s do I have? Founders Edition. I think, did you? Yeah, I think I'd already said it because there's a delay on the stream. So I think upgrading from a 3070 to a 97 XT is worth it. Yeah, that's worth it. I think the actual worst area was the beginning area to FPS, you know. That seemed to be where it's at its lowest. She's mad. Dodge! Have a day off. I hate having to do two at once. Oh, I'm out of stamina. What? Oh, bro. Oh, that's perfect. Oh, I have a day off. Someone say there's a parry in the game. Why would you need parry when you're an absolute unit? Parrying's for pussies. Parry? You want me to parry? That's for absolute losers. This is the no parry playthrough. Well, this room looks good. This is like the scene from Lord of the Rings where... Oh, not quite. In the Balrog. You know, with the... When they're running through the Mines of Moria. That's what that reminded me of here. This is easy. Boom. Wait, was there some sort of document to read here? Okay, well that's bright, isn't it? Oh, it looks like the... Oh, we can do this. Easy, mate. Easy. The, like, the, what do you call them? Knots? It's hard to actually see what they are, though. Hang on. How do I take them back off? Examine. There we go. What one's that? That looks like, Oh, it's that one, isn't it? That one's that one. Can't see this one. The state of that. And then what's this one? Hit mate, easy. $5070 Ti and 9070 XT. In terms of what, FPS? In terms of FPS, it's not really going to be much. Overall average, it depends on the game. Some games are better on, say, the 9070 XT, and sometimes it's the other way around.
Ohayo. 悪い夢にうなされていたかな。
悪い夢。
怪我はないか。怪我をするようなことは私がする。君は体を大事にしなさい。
Even try and get back out because you don't really get to look at the performance that much at 1440p. It's just straight into it, isn't it?
それでは行こうか、ひな子。
どこ？
どうした？こっちだ。
誰なの？
So here, I think outside we had some, in that combat bit, we had dips to about 70, 80, didn't we? At 1440p, but it does round about double the FPS from that town area from 4K to 1440p, which is roughly what you'd expect. Overall, like, very decent FPS at 1440p. It seems. Still, the, like, ever occasional stutter, though, that brings down my lows quite a bit. I've reset them here, so at the moment they look pretty good. VRAM 2 looks a bit healthier at with us here, 10 gigs, so that's better than what we had at 4K. Maybe see upwards of 120, I think, in some bits. Try and see if we'll get FSR quality on in a sec. Should give us another 20 FPS. You could possibly do 1440p 144. You see my frame time there, like, spikes a little bit. Have I got to do something with that? Try and get to another save as well. The next save we'll get to check out 1080p too.
向こう側から鍵がかかってるみたい。
Should maybe try. If we try out FSR quality here, so I think if I take the override off, then I think if I come into here, if we switch that between, I think that should work, shouldn't it? Yeah. So that's with this is with FSR 4 quality on now. So I'm rendering it 1707 by 961, upscaling to 1440p, and that's also reflected in our FPS. I'm getting about 120 here, 120, well, upwards of almost 150. Which is pretty decent. Likely maybe get slightly higher FPS in this bit because it's so dark. There's a mod to uncap FPS. Oh, interesting. I've never really been like that. I play so many different games. I've never really been that bothered to mod a game to just do that, but I'll normally just deal with it.
ここは何の神社？
君のために鍵を用意した。案内しよう。
AMD doing good on this game. I think so. I haven't seen any other performance for it though. I'll try the 5090 out tomorrow. But I've not seen any performance on this at all, so I honestly don't know if we're talking about compared to like AMD, Nvidia or Intel or something. I've not seen performance on anything else, so I wouldn't know if it's better or worse, if you see what I mean. Relatively good compared to what we've had recently. Occasional stutters, but like nothing too bad. Nothing like unplayable or anything. I remember even the remake, the Silent Hill remake, played okay, didn't it? I think it wasn't the best ever, but it wasn't the worst either. It mainly had issues with that ghosting was quite bad, and I know the FPS could be quite low, but it's because of ray tracing. Ray tracing was quite heavy in that, wasn't it? Is that a save point? That is a save point. Did say I'd maybe drop to 1080p, but I guess let me know what settings you want to see whilst we're still at 1440p. It might be worth... is it worth maybe going native and dropping the graphics a little bit as well? The FPS was so high, it kind of almost seems like not worth dropping the graphics, really. Can you not just try each one? Oh, we're missing the bit in the middle, are we? I didn't see that. Had issues with the 4090, 5090. In terms of what? I'll have to. Well, I'll try the 5090 tomorrow, so I guess we'll find out. But what are the issues? This reminds you of Fatal Frame. What's that? I don't know what that is. Hell nah. What the hell? That's put me off my dinner. We've got to kill that. Are you having a laugh? Chef it. Oh my god, I press... This is not going well. How do I parry then? Like that. Oh, is that when it highlights red, is it? Oh, that was easy. Did it not have something around its neck? Didn't it have something around its neck that we need? Crane, serpent, tortoise. Should I be looking for that? Find the correct... How do you pick them up? Examine. They all look the same on each one. Tortoise. Do you think that's one of them? Oh, you can actually turn them. You do all of them. Oh, you can. Interesting. There's a lot here, though. This one looks sketch. I don't like that. You having a laugh? Parry didn't work. What the hell? Dead end. Only complaint I have is the movement is so janky. What? Oh god, I'm dead. The movement to me just feels really not great in situations like this. No, that's not a parry. That's not a parry either. We're out of health here, though. I want to just try and get out of this area so we can actually see performance again, really. There's got to be health or something. Another bridge over to another bit. Yeah, this is with FSR, yeah. FSR quality, yeah. It's a bit less out of this area too. It's more like 120 or so. Oh, this wasn't this the door? No, is this a new door? It did recommend to use controller on this, but that'd be easier. Just finding moments like that where you're trying to dodge and evade and stuff is really janky. Like, for some reason the speed in which I can turn is really slow, but there's no option to, like, speed it up. All I've got is mouse sensitivity, but it just... For some reason it seems really slow, though. Hawk, snake, and turtle. Yeah, was that... That was, I thought it was this. Oh, that is that. Yeah. I was really not seeing that. There's a snake. What do I... Oh, okay, fine. That's not a thing. Oh, these are new. It's because these are new ones here. I didn't find these ones before. I wonder if I can... Yeah, these ones are all over here. What else have I got in terms of inventory? How do I see my inventory? Oh, I got bandages. There we go. What was it? What was that?
あと一つ。
Oh, that was it. Is that... Oh, it is, yeah. I see it. That's lucky. It's that one as well, is it? No? That's a hawk, though, isn't it? I feel like we're probably going to get attacked again at some point. Oh, it's telling me. I think it's got to be here then, isn't it? I think that's what it's trying to tell me. Should we have a look at balance as well? If I drop that down, a little bit hard to tell quality-wise in here. Seeing usage start to drop a little bit as well. Or replace something. How do I get... There we go. 4K? No, this is 1440p at the moment. So it's... Oh, it's going to be one of these, isn't it? They all look the same, but... Is it not that at all? I don't think it's that one. It's got to look different completely, isn't it? I hear something. What? No. Do the big one where I can parry you. Oh, easy. ASRGS, yo, you got one as well. What model? Am I just missing? Not understanding. What? Like, what's this here? What's this? Oh, it's gonna be this, isn't it? It's this. So then I think, where was the... Is it this door? What door was it that I tried to open? It was that one, was it? We want to check performance on this, but don't want to spoil. No worries. I'm not really particularly far in, I don't think. Was it this? It was. So then... Oh, what were the symbols? Oh, okay. Already forgotten it. Boom. Sapphire piles. Nice. Should be pretty good. Are you going to play this game?
受け取ってもらえて嬉しい。淡雪の紅玉より削り出して作った君のための鍵だ。
私のために。
How's it playing on mouse and keyboard?
稲荷像に
It feels a little bit janky. I don't know if there's any shooting in this. Haven't come across it yet. I quite liked Silent Hill when I played the remake. I didn't mind that on mouse and keyboard because I quite like the shooting on mouse and keyboard, but this maybe is a bit better suited to controller. Yeah, I'm running from that. Wait, what? Okay, I'm not running from it. I gotta fight it. I'm stuck. I can't move. No. What? I couldn't parry. Oh, this is all going so wrong. It does it so you can't parry. That's so painful. I can't dodge. It does it so you can't parry. That's so annoying. There we go. I'm not supposed to fight that. I'm gonna stand there and fight. What? Oh, I'm dead. I can't move. I'm stuck. I'm actually stuck on here. I can't move. Oh my god, dude. Have a day off. Oh my god. I can't. I've got no stamina. Where do I go? Oh, there we go. Pro gamer? Am I a pro gamer? Thanks. There is like, I remember this on the remake. The movement really annoyed me. When you're trying to dodge and stuff, there's something about it that's just kind of infuriating. I don't know what it is. Especially the combat, there's just something about it that can just gets under your skin. I don't know. This to me feels more janky than the remake, though. The combat feels really janky. Maybe I should just try controller. Maybe I'm trying to force mouse and keyboard. It's just not going to work. Doesn't have a native res. To be honest, I still don't really. I'm overriding it with Upscaler, so I can do native. When I first dropped into 4K, it looked like we were native TSR, but I've got it overridden in Upscaler, so we can definitely make sure I'm at native. All of them feel like that. They're supposed to. They're designed like that. Why? Why would you design a game for the movement to feel janky? Why would that be an actual design decision? It's more like the combat. There's something about the combat that just, it feels, I don't know, it just feels a bit annoying. It was like on Silent Hill, the other one though, but I feel like it's worse on this. It's more of like the camera angles. I think that's what annoys me, is when you're in combat. I think maybe a controller would be better. Cutscenes are locked at 30, yeah. Maybe the game feeling janky gives it some charm. I don't know. I feel like those things are not... There's nothing charming about a game feeling really horrendous. Not saying it's bad, it's just sometimes in like certain scenes it just is annoying. I don't know. It doesn't like ruin the game, but it just is annoying. But I think playing on controller might help. I think it's just on mouse and keyboard. You liked Silent Hill 2 remake? Yeah, I think I probably would agree. I think so far from what I've played, I definitely prefer the remake. Maybe this is just a bit slow starting, but this was 80 quid as well. 80 quid. That's just... To play it early, to be fair, but I think even the standard is like 70, is it? I think it's 69.99, isn't it? Which is also quite expensive. What was I going to do? I was just going to quickly, now we're out of that area, because the FPS in that area is a little bit... So yeah, FSR quality, FSR, so we've got FSR 4 quality here. About 150, so that's obviously very good. That does bring our power down a little bit as well. Not maxed anymore, we're still over 300. VRAM 2 looks alright for a 12 gig GPU. And reset the lows there. He's pretty good. You went out and bought a PS4 just for this game. This is on PS4, is it? I do want to just quickly see if we can override it again now. So I can show you the override. I do also maybe at the end want to switch back to 4K and try the override out with FSR. And just to have a double check of the performance there. But yeah, this is native. We're at native 1440p, so 2560 by 1440. Rendering and outputting at that, which is 1440p. So we're using FSR native AA. And get about, it depends where you are, obviously. I think at the beginning of the game, it was definitely lower FPS. But in this bit, at least, you're getting about 100, 110. I think the beginning of the game might be more like 80 to 90 or something. So, definitely. And bear in mind, this was everything maxed out. So, Lumen, Epic, everything. Everything fully maxed. Which is decent. $69.99 on Steam. Yeah, that's for the standard though. I got the play early and that was $79.99. So yeah, even the standard though is 70 quid, which is a lot. A lot for a game. How much was the remake? I forget. Like 70 quid is really steep in my opinion. I feel like it'd be like 50 is max. There's only like maybe... Only game I'm really going to spend like 80 quid on it is GTA 6. Do you know what I mean? Or Red Dead Redemption. A new one. TAA? Do you mean TSR? $70. Yeah, there is definitely, you do get the odd game that's 70, don't you? I do think that's too much though. That's way too much. Like I say, the only games I would consider that is Red Dead Redemption 3 or like GTA 6. I'd be like, alright, I would do that because I know I'm going to probably get... That's going to be the only one for like a long time, do you know what I mean? That game's going to last me for ages. What's going on here then? So yeah, dips down into about 85 there, so definitely any settings you want to see whilst I'm still at 1440p before I check 1080p really quick. Definitely doesn't have a little bit of ghosting we saw earlier, but definitely doesn't have anywhere near as many problems as the remake had. Is there a way I can save it up here? GTA 6 would be, yeah, even that though, you know, I'd probably consider paying that, you know. I'd probably spend that amount. Because I just know, you just know it's you're gonna just play it an insane amount. I'd also probably, like, Battlefield 6, I would probably consider paying that amount too, because I know that I'm going to probably spend hundreds of hours playing it. Honestly, I think GTA 6 might even be more than 100, you know? Now that I think about it. I might just quickly do a quick restart now that I've saved it and just dropped to 1080p really quick. Have a look at that and then just try, I do want to try 4K quickly again at native, with the native override, because we didn't check that. So just give me 2 seconds. Do make sure to drop a like on the stream if you haven't already. I think, what time is all the games kicking off? Was it 8:30? Tottenham about to get What time's Tottenham game kick off? Oh, it started. Arsenal are about to get absolutely slapped about by Port Vale. I still need to get like a PS5 Pro for GTA 6 maybe. Otherwise I can't play it. So 1080p here. You can see that there, 1920 by 1080. Everything maxed, Lumen Epic. If I... Let's make sure if we override it here. So yeah, it's not... Do we need to apply... Quality override. I'm not sure if that's worked. That's definitely not worked. Oh no, it's not worked because I haven't changed it. So switch that down to 1. I'll put that on, and then if we... Just trying to override. So we're at native. There you go. So I'm rendering it 1080p and I'm outputting it 1080p here. So essentially FSR native AA. Go there. Up to about 170 there, 180. Definitely going to dip down a bit, 150. Doesn't seem an insane difference from 1440p, really, does it? Get a little bit more FPS, but it's still going to dip down to about 130. Oh, maxing the usage, so about 97%. GPU power's max. This is the craziest thing, though, we've seen recently at 1080p and Unreal Engine 5 games. I'm using 10.5 gigs of VRAM. I don't think I've had any this many consecutive games that have used such crazy amounts of VRAM at 1080p. Like, we're pushing 11 gig here. That's crazy. We just broke 11. I've had a shocker there. Can I parry this? Easy. What program am I using? Upscaling. Does this game not let you choose FSR quality? It does, but I'm not using FSR quality. I'm at native. You can't use FSR native AA in the game settings. You have to override it. That's what I've got here. 1080p FSR native AA. But yeah, you can use FSR quality in the game, but that's not what I'm using here. Goodbye. CPU bottleneck. What do you mean? I'm not seeing any bottleneck. Usage is maxed out pretty much still. 96, 97%. That's consider that pretty much maxed. I thought I had no native FSR because I'm on no, there's no, it doesn't seem like, even if you're on an NVIDIA GPU, by the sounds of it, you can't use DLAA. You have to override it. There's no like option to do that at all in the game. It's not even a GPU specific thing. I just think the game, you can't do it. Like, at all. Buy a football shirt from 85 to... Oh, no, I know. Football shirts are crazy expensive now. I remember you used to be able to buy... I remember buying, like, Need for Speed on, like, PS2. I swear that game was max 30 quid. Brand new. Use TAA. You can only go to you got TSR. You can only switch between FSR and TSR. That's it. Doesn't even seem to have XSS. Has an FFS. Thanks for subscribing. Do we have a map here? What's that? That's the save. Is that telling me I can get around there? Oh no, that's the little, that was the cut through, was it? Oh no, okay. Yeah, averaging 155, so pretty good for 1080p. The only concerning things though is stuff like GPU power and stuff. If you have no undervolt, and VRAM 2 obviously is, those are absolutely insane for 1080p. We got chocolate. If I try, I'll switch the override off and we can use FSR. Yeah, you can only switch between FSR. I'm losing my voice. You got the choice between FSR or TSR, basically. Oh no, you do have TAA. What? Why did I not see this earlier? This setting can be changed when specific types... What? This setting can be changed when specific types of anti-aliasing are enabled, so you can only do it with that. What, it's just unbalanced. So you can use CAA there, so that would actually be native, I guess, wouldn't it? Probably. That looks like it is. Maybe I'm an absolute idiot. I swear that setting wasn't there earlier. That's got to be native then, isn't it? Oh, it's still got this though. Oh, this is a mess. I don't know what I've got on at this point. It's kind of, it's screwed a little bit because it's got Optiscaler on, so... It looks about native FPS though. TAA is native, yeah, seems like it. How on earth did I not see that setting earlier? What an idiot. That'd have saved us a lot of time. But to be honest, I mean, FSR native AA, you still can't force that in the game. I'd recommend forcing that if you can, because it looks better than TAA. If you can do that, it definitely looks better. Looks a bit blurry and stuff. The ghosting's worse like this as well. Yeah, this is definitely ghosting. So if you can do that, I would definitely recommend it. I was going to... What were the other options? FXAA. Yeah, I remember on the remake, Silent Hill 2 remake, these also had quite bad ghosting as well. I could try it with FSR quality there. That's giving us less FPS by the looks of it. Which does suggest... Go back to TAA. Yeah, that gives us less FPS there. Is the game scary? I don't think so. I don't really scare though. Like at all. So maybe not the... I don't really get scared by like games or movies. I saw that new Conjuring movie on I see that on Saturday. I'm just there like there's people screaming in the cinema. I'm just there like, are you alright? If anything, I quite like watching horror films. Maybe I'm a psychopath. So I should imagine if we use... If we go down to balance and stuff, is that giving us... that? So that now is giving us more FPS there. See, I think I've kind of broken the game a bit because... started faffing around with the... it might have been because... I'm gonna go back to, sorry, I'm gonna go back to quality here. Yeah, quality's giving me 200 here now. I think Upscaling is messing with it. 200 with FSR quality there. FSR 4 quality. Where do I go here then? Is there like another way? FSR 4 with upscaling is probably clearer. Yeah, probably. Definitely no way through here. Wasn't there another way? I think if I go back, there was another way, wasn't there? Like way back. Why not play in 2K? We already did. Already did test it in 2K. Testing 1080p now, so we already did 1440p. I think, what's that? It was all the way back, I think. I remember seeing something. Have a look at balanced as well. Yeah, it doesn't seem really much difference between quality and balance there, is there? Where did I see that? Back down there, it was maybe here? It was down here. It was down one of these on the left. They're pretty solid. I mean, it still dips down to about 150. There it was up here. Oh, you're lucky. That looks... Where the hell does that go? It doesn't run well. No, it runs pretty good. Could I have parried that? A bit of a maze. Got two of them. Try 1440p. I did 1440p already, so you can rewind the stream a little bit and you'll see that we did it for about an hour. Oh wait, I've lost my weapon. I don't have a weapon. What the hell do I do? Will it follow me forever? Guess I need to find another weapon then. Did I have that knife? I don't seem to have anything on me though. You can't get through here. Oh yeah, that's that bit, but you can go round. There's got to be a weapon somewhere. Can you go down here? Just hope we don't encounter any more. Is that another... That might be a save point. Is that a save point? Oh, sweet. Slap him. Slap him silly. Oh, here we go. Boom. Straight away. Get that weapon out. There we go. Question is, how do I know when the weapon's gonna break? She's seeing some kind of pixelation and stuff around her hair. Edges of her head.
だったら互いの頬をつねり合ってみるか。
いや、自分の頬くらい自分でつねれる。残念だが。
Need that baseball bat.
夢じゃないみたいだな。
Is it better to stream on YouTube than on Twitch? I don't know. I've never streamed on Twitch. I wouldn't know what it's like. So I do want to quickly go switch it back to 4K to have a look at I want to try and just have a look at the native override we were doing and stuff, because we didn't really see that, and TAA and stuff at 4K. Any settings you want to see whilst I'm still at 1080p, let me know and I'll quickly check. I want to ask for something for 9070 XT. I'm not sure what that means. YouTube's better if you already have... Yeah, I mean, my I originally started my channel just doing videos, which is more suitable for YouTube really because it's a search-based thing. Like when I do different videos with different GPUs and different games, that's not really a Twitch thing. Like you can't search for that on Twitch. It's not like a search thing. That's more what my focus is testing stuff. It's not really like... I'll maybe try and multi-stream at some point, maybe, to both, but... Like the videos and stuff, a bit more suited for YouTube. 2K Ultra, it's about 90 to 100, depending where you are. $8K. I'm not on my 8K screen. Maybe another day. It wouldn't do very well. This GPU just... There's not enough VRAM. I was using like 30 gigs of VRAM on Borderlands 4 at 80K. Did I overclock the 9070 XT? No. There's just so many. Let me go. I'll go back to that save and reset quick at 4K and we'll check that out, and then I'll have to probably head off shortly. Just want to double check really with TAM. Kind of curious to see now how that does. And if I can try and... How do I like stop applying Upscaler though? Is that only restarting? Is that the only way? 8K is impossible without AI. No, I mean the 5090 can do it. I can play quite a lot of games at 60 FPS on a 5090. At 8K. Native 8K as well, so like no upscaling. Just have to be like a little bit older games. You can actually play Red Dead Redemption 2 at about 60 at 8K native, which is pretty nuts on a 5090. A lot of the console, the like console ports, you can actually run quite well at 8K. I remember I did a few of those at 8K. Doesn't support multi-frame generation. It'd be cool to test it, I guess. I just don't really care for multi-frame generation that much. Like, I never really use it. If I was gaming off stream, like, it's never something I really use, but... So, I'm at 4K, 3840 by 260, everything maxed. Weirdly, it switched from TAA to TSR straight away. Oh no, wait, it has gone. I'm not going crazy. What? It isn't there. I'm not going crazy. What? How is TAA not there anymore? What on earth? I honestly thought I was going crazy, but I'm definitely not. It's not there anymore. I do only have TSR and FSR, that's it. What? How at 4K am I not getting TAA, but at 1080p I am? How does that make sense? Well, at least I know I'm not going crazy. That is definitely bugged. I'm going to just override FSR native AA just to have a look at that because we didn't see that. That is definitely bugged though. I wonder if did it work at 1440p? I might have to switch to that and have a look quick. Definitely works at 1080p, doesn't work at 4K, which is why I didn't see it. It's because it isn't actually there. That is seriously bugged. If I do, so if I switch that down to 1. And then I think if I just switch this will at least give us the FSR native AA and we can kind of match up FPS. Yeah, it's pretty. This is the same FPS as I was getting with TSR quality. It is definitely like, I don't know. The game settings to me just don't feel, I'm not confident in the settings at all. They feel all over the place. It just when I see games like this, when it does like that, it's like just weird to test because I'm never confident that I'm actually playing at what it says I am, if that makes sense. Holy smokes. What? Did you get stabbed? This is what it's like being in London. It's bugged, it seems. Yeah, I mean, that is fully bugged. I'm kind of curious. I'll switch to 1440p quickly before I've got to go, just to see if it appears there as well. And then that'll be even weirder. I don't think it was there at 1440p. I'm pretty sure it wasn't, because the first time I saw it was 1080p, which is even weirder. But yeah, 39 FPS. This is the you can see how I'm rendering, so I'm at 4K, I'm rendering at 4K, I'm outputting at 4K, so this is native AA. Getting pretty much the same, maybe slightly better than what we had at the beginning of the game. We had a bit more like 30, 35, didn't we? Which is still not bad, considering the settings, 4K, Lumen, Epic and everything. Looks pretty good as well, I think, at 4K. Pretty nice graphically. I was saying earlier about the amount of fog. This definitely... The fog here does seem more similar to Silent Hill 2. The remake. The amount of fog we're getting. No ghosting, though. I haven't noticed any... This is obviously with FSR native AA, though, which hopefully should be a bit better. TAA. If we could see it, probably look worse. Should we... If I save it quick, I'm curious to see 1440p quick. Obviously, from a hardware perspective, it does push it pretty tough. 14 gigs of VRAM. But handles it not too badly. I save it quick. Got a feeling, I don't think it was there at 1440p either. Which is even weird. Even more weird. I guess let me know if anyone else has played. Have you also seen that? Maybe test out as well. And let me know. Let me know if you're seeing TAA at like 1080p but not at 1440p or something. Let me quickly reboot it again. Honestly, don't know if I've ever seen that. You get some settings at a certain res and different ones at another res. That is really bugged. Day one patch, yeah. Hopefully. The game, obviously officially, like the standard comes out tomorrow, so there'll probably be a patch right in there tomorrow. That might maybe fix it. I have to wait and see. Try and switch to my 5090 tomorrow and have a look at it on that. I wonder, it'd be interesting to see if I get the same thing on that. The big test. Is it there? Do we have TAA? Oh my god, we do. I have TAA at 1080p and 1440p, but not 4K. How does that make sense? I've got a feeling why that is, you know? I've got a feeling the game, which I'm hoping it isn't this. I'm hoping it's not that. I've got a feeling the game actually is enforcing it. I think the game's enforcing you to use TSR and FSR when you try, you know, when games set like the hardware requirements automatically or whatever. I wonder if it could be that. Like, you know, when you boot games and say if you booted at 4K max graphics and it knows you're on like a 9070 XT, it'll try and give you the recommended settings, you know, it'll give you FSR quality, whatever. I wonder if the game is forcing that. So basically, if I boot it in 4K, it's not allowing native. I wonder if that's what's happening. That'd be a real shame if that's what's happening, because I don't like that. I'd rather the option. I'm hoping it's just bugged or something. But yeah, TAA does look... That looks like it does give you native. It's not reflecting in my Upscaler, but performance-wise we can tell it is. So definitely do get some bits, some heavy areas. I think 1440p do go down to about 8 in the 80s, that 80, 90 there. What monitor do I use? It's all in the description, but I'm on an LG, a 4K LG Ultra Gear. I'll have to see on the 5090 and see if it... if I have TAA on at 4K on that, then I kind of feel like I lean towards that it is enforcing the settings. Change to windowed. I believe I saw someone have that same issue. Oh, what with the TAA? Oh, I'll have to see. Let me go back to 4K then and try that. If that doesn't work, I'll head off because I need to eat. But it's weird for me though. It works fine at 1440p and 1080p, but not 4K. That seems so weird. If it was the windowed full screen thing, that seems even weirder. But that's definitely like a bug. Because that's like really weird, isn't it? Can't say I've ever seen that in a game. Where it's like that bugged. I'll try it though. So let's see. Well, did the reboot fix it? No, look, it is. I honestly think it's enforcing this, you know? Honestly, I think it could be that. That's the only way it makes sense, isn't it? Borderless windowed. Still the same thing? No, windowed is the same. I honestly think it's enforcing this, you know? Windowed fix something. Yeah, oh, okay. Yeah, fair enough. It doesn't seem to fix it here for me. I still only have those two options. Honestly, I think it could... I think this might be enforced, you know? I feel like that's what it is. Because that's the only explanation why it wouldn't work at 4K, but it works at the other resolutions. Or maybe it could just be a bug, I don't know. Seems like a weird bug, though. To be so selective on the resolutions. Works at 1080p and 1440p, but doesn't work at 4K. That seems intentional, doesn't it? What's the issue? I don't get TAA setting at 4K. I don't get TAA or FXAA at 4K, but I get it at 1440p and 1080p. I don't get the option at 4K, which is very odd. Unless the absolute last thing I'll try is just fully removing Upscaler. That maybe, but then it wouldn't. I had Upscaler on at 1440p and 1080p and it worked fine. So that also doesn't really make much sense, does it? I don't think it'll be that. I'll maybe try and maybe have a play around with it tonight and try, but I'm gonna have to head off because I need to grab some food. Like I say, I'll try and switch to the 5090 and have a look at that tomorrow. So I should be on similar time on that, hopefully, if I can finish work on time. But thanks a lot for watching. I'll wait. What are the scores? What are the scores? Oh look, Tottenham 2-0, easy, mate. Arsenal winning as well. No way. Oh, there's still time for Port Vale to knock them out. Anyway, hope you have a good evening, and I'll catch you tomorrow.